logistics issue? I have a weird feeling about this.
Yeah, you're about to have a weird day. Cornet. Where did I put it this time?
Oh, it's under my bed. Hi, Senna.
Hey, Buddha, good to see you. So, yeah, I brought a calculator, my laptop, the Alaris coronet. I had a weird feeling this would require a boost of some sort.
Yeah, you're almost certainly right about that. Do we want to talk about this here in the bunny comb? I suppose if something like this, everyone's going to have to know soon enough, but it's up to you. You're welcome to join the conversation too, Buddha. Your insight would be really helpful.
Operation GTFO, hun. What's your take? Your reality, your choice.
Already? Well, you did say Grace and the rest were getting ready for that. I'd keep it on the down low for right now if you're still talking logistics. Just bring Senna and Sable over to discuss things, make some plans, then announce things on the news. Ooh, we'll give WLA an exclusive, right?
Might as well go back to my office, I guess.
I'm gonna need a full debrief on what the hell we're doing.
Okay. Senna, apparently the lead speak reality is on the conveyor belt to the Universal Incinerator. We need to get about 1 million people who are willing to go out. We need to A. Organize a mass exodus operation that is as efficient as it can be. B. Prevent anyone from forcing their way through the portal with violence. C. Extend Tempest's ability to maintain the Tang portal and mine to maintain the force field as long as possible. D. Make sure nobody's starving or homeless when they get here. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with the aftermath, then jump back to the beginning. Right now, the harvests are not looking great. There's been a record storm season so far in Melees. The glitter storms really aren't helping. But if we can convince them, the Leet Speak people, to work the fields, and they have some litteromancers, right? We might be able to increase the crop production, and some litteromantically boosted conditions or even crops might make this semi-viable.
Yeah, I was concerned about that. The Lapin prairies have just suffered a major drought, too. Go on.
The Leet Speak reality actually has a really good harvest of staple foods this year. Flour is selling for $1 for a 5-pound bag, for example, and they're having trouble giving the rice away. Beans and potatoes, too. Maybe they'd be willing to give us aid for aid?
How big can the Tang portal get? Is there a time limit? We're bringing 1 million people through, and to feed them, we're going to need a lot of food. I'm not even talking a semi-truck. Try more, a fleet. If people can provide some of their own food by carrying whatever they can bring, that probably provides something for the first couple of days. But if we want this influx to be sustainable in any way, we do need this reality solution, I think.
It's harder to sustain for longer the bigger it gets. I think the biggest I ever did was about the size of a house, but I only kept it open for a bit, so it's untested. I can tell you it's easier to open portals between realities than it is to open a portal from somewhere in this reality to somewhere else in this reality. You have to open 2, technically, to do that. So I'll be able to hold it, help me out, Buddha. Okay, so maybe up to a minute for a house-sized portal to this reality at a time. And I need to rest a bit before opening another.
Good Tempest.
They've got about 10 minutes usually with a portal big enough for a person or two to slip through at once. I seem to have longer with my force field. One sized for me I can keep up for hours, maybe days. The bigger it is, the harder it is to maintain. But, like Tempest was saying before you got here, we have those Litromantic batteries left over from the Night King battle, and the Woodlander crowns. That should extend our abilities. Hell, maybe we can build up more Litromantic batteries too. I mean, something like this isn't going to go unnoticed. We're going to have to appeal to the realm for help no matter how we look at it. Maybe we can raise energy for it in July.
Well, you keep doing those rituals to gather little romantic energy, like the 50K offensive, right? Why don't you do something like that?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Exactly. And I think you're probably right, Senna. I've been concerned about the labor shortage in general, what with the population reduction and the shrunken infrastructure we haven't adjusted to yet. I knew a whole bunch of food was going to rot on the vine. The Prime Minister is worried about it too. We were going to offer sentence reductions and a decent wage for prisoners to help mitigate the shortage. I'd managed to convince the Prime Minister it was necessary, even though he hates the idea of government debt. I was on my way to convincing him to do a community incentive program too.
I was planning to volunteer pretty much as often as I can in the fields, although I don't know how much use I'll be. Like you say, many hands makes light work, right?
Well, I can show you how to pick strawberries, apples, peaches, and grapes anyway. But yeah, I think Senna's onto something. In my experience, refugees are often willing to make temporary sacrifices if they're given a chance to get the hell out of a bad situation.
People are ready to jump ship to another reality. I'm sure they'll be willing to lend a hand in the fields. I'll ask.
34, 60, 99, 1.
Queen Sable, Polemarch Senna, Tempestyr. Maybe we should go talk with Grace? She's one of the organizers for Operation GTFO, and she needs to hear some of this stuff too.
Math first. I don't want to promise anything we cannot provide.
Yeah, absolutely, we should. But I want to have a proposal to bring to them first. Then we can modify as needed according to what is possible. I do have some ideas that might make things easier on this end.
Go on.
Well, there was this program in Canada to aid Syrian refugees, and it was a big success. Communities would sponsor refugee families. It got the community invested in the outcome and gave the refugees a place to start and a ready-made support system when they got here.
Yeah, that makes sense. You could get people to register beforehand, and placing refugees would be a lot easier.
Smaller portals are easier.
Well, with the crowns, we could technically keep a large portal open all day, but we'll still have to make provisions for them on the other end as we go, and you guys will have to rest sometime.
Yeah, that's a fact. I can get Aaron, Stretch, and maybe Kit to run training programs. That's going to take some time, too. About as long as basic training, because getting people to move as a group is one of the hardest things in the world to do. But if we do that, we can at least take best advantage of the open portal time.
How much time do we have before, fiery demise?
I've never kept a tank portal open more than maybe 15 minutes. I honestly don't know if that might not be a bigger drain than I realize. And I don't want to piss off the overflow by acting as a taxi either. Maybe I should consult it. One person at one time is one thing. Shifting about 1 million people... Yeah, that might piss it off, seeing what happened to the What's-His crater thing.
Yeah, you better go talk to it, hon. If it's gonna get mad at you, better to find out now.
Okay. I'll ask about both things. I'll be back.